a traveler who recently journeyed through several provinces of the island of Java, quotes a remarkable instance of the fascinating power of snakes. The traveler in question began to ascend the Junjind, one of the mountains called Peppergebirte by the Dutch. After he had penetrated the dense jungle, he noticed on the branches of a tree a Javanese squirrel with a white head. It was sporting and frisking about with the grace and agility that distinguish this charming species of rodents. A spherical nest formed of flexible twigs and moss, and set in the higher part of the tree at the fork of two branches, and a cavity in the trunk seemed to be the two goals of its eyes. No sooner was it at a distance from them than it returned to them with the greatest eagerness. It was the month of July, and probably the squirrel had its young in the nest and its storehouse of fruit in the cavity. Suddenly it appeared to be seized with terror, and its movements became irregular. It was as if it were trying always to place an obstacle between itself and certain parts of the tree. Finally, it crouched and remained motionless between two branches. The traveler had the impression that danger threatened the innocent little animal, but he could not tell what was the nature of the peril. He approached, and a careful examination enabled him to discover in a hollow of the trunk a ribbon snake, fixing its eyes in the direction of the squirrel. Our traveler trembled for the poor little squirrel. The mechanism intended for the hearing of sounds is little developed in snakes, and they do not appear to have a very fine sense of hearing. Moreover, the snake was so preoccupied with its prey that it did not appear at all to notice the presence of a human being. Our traveler, who was armed, could have come to the assistance of the unfortunate rodent and killed the snake. But science was stronger than pity, and he wanted to see how the drama would end. The outcome was tragic. The squirrel certainly did not fail to utter a plaintive cry, which, for all who know it, indicates the presence of a snake. It went forward a step, attempted to retreat, went forward again, and tried to turn back, but came ever nearer to the reptile. The snake, coiled up and with its head above its coils, was as motionless as a piece of wood, and did not take its eyes off the squirrel. The squirrel descended from branch to branch until it reached a bare part of the trunk. The poor animal now made no further attempt to avoid the danger. Attracted by an invincible power, and seized as it were by dizziness, it rushed headlong into the jaws of the snake, which were suddenly opened as wide as possible in order to receive it. Up till then, the snake had been quite motionless, but now it became just as active as soon as it was in possession of its prey. Uncoiling itself and pursuing its course upwards with incredible agility, it reached the top of the tree in an instant, where no doubt it digested its prey and went to sleep. In this example, we see what spirit animates nature, since it reveals itself in this, and how very true is the above-quoted saying of Aristotle. This story is important not merely in a magic regard, but also as an argument for pessimism. That an animal is suddenly attacked and devoured by another is bad. Yet we can reconcile ourselves to this, but that such a poor innocent squirrel, sitting by its nest with its young, is compelled, step by step, reluctantly, struggling with itself and lamenting, to approach the snake's wide open jaws and hurl itself consciously into these, is so revolting and atrocious that we feel how right Aristotle is in saying, "How frightful is this nature to which we belong."